time with you too, and thank you for thinking of me. And I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.
I call her every day during this stormy weather.
To erase this message, press 7. To send a reply message, press
Delete.
8.
Delete.
To save it, press message erase.
All right.
End of new messages. To listen to your messages.
Hi there, everybody. How are you? The doctor said to the new patient, we're going to start with your medical history. Do you pay your doctor's bills?
Opening today because of the weather.
Delete.
Yeah, delete that.
Boston Neighborhood Network is not open. That tells us that Austin is in a bad area, because Austin is in Boston.
Delayed opening until noon on Friday. So, yeah, delayed opening until noon. All right, I'll get rid of this. Okay. Let's see. Oh, it says here on you got a note from YouTube here. It says hi, chat with Glendora. It says good news. The copyright claim on your video was released. It says, and so the which was some old video from 6,000 back. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're talking about, but
Delete.
we don't need to know about that. So. Okay, all right, then I'll go to a social now, and no, we don't need to know that. Let's see, get out of that. Popular events, we don't need to know that. And your video, with like one notification, your video ad ended and got 969 video views. It says here.
969 video what? Reach?
Views. It says views. It says.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Okay, thank you.
Oh, the reach was 1,741.
What was that for, hon?
For the video that we boosted. I boosted it like Friday, I think.
Oh,
last week.
okay. There's 1,700 and 900. What's the 900 one?
The for 3-second video views, it was like 969, and but it says the reach was 1,741.
Thank you.
And it only cost like what, $8, I guess it was, or something.
And so let's put that into archives. Oh no, this is the one where you wipe them out, meaning they've been read.
Yeah, it's a notification there. So yeah, all right. So I did that, and there's a bunch of stuff on here. So yeah, I told you about that, and then
Are those all up to date now?
pretty much. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty much up.
What
to
was
date.
the last one?
I'm still looking at the notifications here. I'm going down the here's one for was it Top Hat? Somebody clicked off a like. Somebody liked your video. It says here Jim Hash likes.
Yeah, good old Jim Hesh. Hi Jim, how are you?
Likes one of your videos there, and then the Diane Blumberg Bennett likes your video. It says.
Oh, we've done those, honey.
Yeah,
What's the date
those.
on those?
Oh, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, today. Yeah, past.
So there's no more for Friday, right?
No, that's it.
Now, will you go to Facebook and go to the videos that were put up this week on the jokes and tell me how many people saw the red line? You know, the one where you go the red line?
And the next one says 44 people saw this post.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
231 saw Saturdays.
And then here's the one from January 3rd. Here it says 1,675 people saw this post.
Wow.
It says, and
It's already up to 2,000.
And it says views for the.
Not views, just the red line.
Yeah, well, that's it. Anyways, yeah, people saw the post, so yeah, 1675. Yeah, that's about it right there. So.
Now, on January 4th, do you have any? Didn't you put up 2 on January 4th?
January 4th.
Yesterday?
Okay. Yes. Yeah, they're on here, yeah.
Okay, what's the red line say?
Oh, it says, the one says 15 people saw this post, and the other says 18 people saw this post.
Would you like to boost one of them?
I wouldn't right now, but it's up to you if you want.
You wouldn't? Okay, that's good. Well, thank you
Well,
so
just
much.
Just put them up yesterday, so.
That's mine. Is the camera shutting itself off?
Okay, the weather. Well, the camera worked okay last night. It played well when it played, so. All right, it says 6 degrees. In
The weather
Nassau.
is 6 degrees.
It says the high today is 8, and the low is like -4. And the next few hours, it says like 11, 12, 1 o'clock today. It says it's going to be windy. It shows windy, and it says it feels like -14. I guess with a wind chill. Yeah, that's what it shows. So the humidity is at 50%, and it says it shows that there is a new winter storm already on its way. That's what it says.
Good.
Down in Alabama or something like that. So.
We're having a real old-fashioned winter, and that means that things are normal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it with the weather, but okay. Now here they show.
Now you're back around to the front where we're going to have
Okay. This over here. So.
loading area. You can, wall
And I think it appeared like the schools were closed today, so that.
Oh yeah, I guess some were and some weren't, but we passed one and there's cars in the parking lot and all, and I thought they canceled it today. But it's yeah, it's really kind of not that good at it.
Wayne, come and tell me what's going on at the Christian Science Reading Room.
Well, nothing today. I didn't get a visitor, I didn't get a phone call.
And how has it changed in the last 5 years?
Well, in the last 5, not an awful lot. It pretty much stays the same.
And what changed? How many years have you been doing it?
Oh, about a year.
And it really helps people, doesn't it?
Yes,
And that man he came in from so far away, didn't he?
yes, several times.
Yeah. What are you eating? Vegan chicken? Yeah, now the camera is on, so please move smoothly.
Okay, all right. So.
Wayne, would you like a cookie, an apple, or an
No,
orange?
thank you. I just went back.
You didn't have your lunch, did you?
Yes, I did. I went home and got something in between. I was hoping it wasn't pouring that part of the year.
We're at PCTV Community Television at Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
Wayne, won't you-
And this is the entrance room here. This is where the producers pick up or drop off their DVDs. And this is an ongoing Massachusetts cable operation. Now it's Spectrum runs it.
Yes, I did. I got it cleared out, able to get out.
And this is what they call the green room here, or Studio K.
I asked Gregory to write out your message to me, the one about having so many friends that you don't even know, right? Remember that?
Yes.
And write it out in big letters so that I can read it every day and live up to it.
Oh, that's nice.
Gregory, want a piece of orange here?
I saw the
Oh, yes,
program where
please,
you were
yeah.
showing the Christmas card that I sent you, the one with the cardinals on it. I saw that.
What was that, Wayne?
The Christmas card with the cardinals. I saw you showing that on one of your programs.
Wayne, we took the money and we put
Okay, you're on, so go ahead.
Folks, I want you to meet a man I just met, Mr. Nichols. And what did you say to me, Mr. Nichols?
Clark Nichols.
And that you used to?
I used to watch you on Channel 6 or whatever channel it was. We only had 2 or 3 of them back then.
That's right.
And
And
one
so,
of my favorite shows, you and Freddie Freihofer.
Oh, yeah.
and you want to know something? I know how old you are, 68?
You're right. Exactly.
So,
And I think you were about 9 years old?
Could be.
Yeah.
I don't
And
remember
what
that.
town was that?
In Pittsfield, right here.
Oh, in Pittsfield.
Yeah, been here all my life.
Oh, good. Did you hear that, Wayne?
Yes, I did.
He was watching it about the same time you were.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Come on over, Wayne.
You look familiar.
so
Yeah.
this is Wayne. All right, I'll get you all in there.
This is my friend Wayne Collins, and he is the consummate SS Glendora fan. And he's here today to recall the many, where are your notes? You have 4 or 5 pages of
yes.
Oh,
notes.
my goodness.
Yeah, right. What do you remember about the show, Mr. Nichols?
Not too much. I don't have any specific memories other than just
Yeah.
fuzzy photos
Yeah.
of scenes on the fuzzy television back then.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't dare ask Wayne, because he goes on for pages. He goes
Probably
on-
the show you remember more so is the Satellite 6 broadcast.
Yeah.
The Satellite 6, right?
That would be it.
And it was a steamship, folks, and it was the SS Glendora. And I told them that the SS stood for steamship, and they said it stood for stupid show. Well, Mr. Nichols and Mr. Collins, thank you very much. We're making a collection of these.
Oh, good.
We're making an SS
I
Glendora
think I made
documentary.
a cameo appearance in your show from the Carousel earlier this summer, last summer.
Oh,
I
you
guess.
did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
You'll have to.
Well, let's
Maybe
write
maybe
down-
I ended up on the editing room floor.
No. Let's write down your name and telephone number. Wayne, you have a piece of
All
paper.
right, all right.
Do you live here now?
Yeah, there's a consistently.
Why did you keep going north?
Oh, my
If you
husband's
could write
kids
down
are on
there.
that
Where the weather is so much
I
better.
forgot, you live in,
He became a grandfather. My
oh, you
husband.
do live in.
Okay, well, it's a very nice show.
Was it really?
You remind me
Your
of Lucille
telephone.
Ball.
Yeah. Isn't it, darling?
Oh, it is darling.
Oh, they
It's
were so
awesome.
cute.
Oh my God.
All right,
But I'm doing
thanks.
thank you, July.
All right, so where's the,
I'll do it for the
where's
first
my,
one.
oh, no, we're not putting them away.
So,
Oh, there's another show.
that's all right, they can put them on. So I
For the
started.
next show, there's.
We'll leave the mics out for, that are here.
Just get a couple seconds of. All right, Glendora is going to be interviewing Wayne Collins in Pittsfield, January 5th.
You rolling?
Okay.
It's very important, Greg. This is part
Quiet on
of the
set?
part of the documentary, honey. Okay. Who's going to give me a countdown, or do you want me to give you a countdown?
1, 2, 3.
Well, hi there, everybody. Welcome to the Wayne Collins Show. Hi, Wayne Collins. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Glenn?
Well, now, oh, superbly, A+. Now, folks, we are trying to make a documentary.
Hang on 1 second, please. We're going to start over again
Okay.
because somebody forgot to turn on the microphone.
Oh, that's good.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Well, hi there, everybody. Welcome to the Wayne Collins Show. Wayne, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Glenn?
Oh, you are an integral part of this documentary that we are making, Wayne. We're trying to recapture the wonders of live television in the late 1950s. You have never seen anything like it. You will never see anything like it. The whole thing was just so young and fresh and clean and spontaneous and uncontrived. It was just a great, great period. And the SS Glendora was a show for children, by children, with children, and run by children. And here is one of his super fans. Tell the folks from the beginning. One day you turned on the TV set, and what did you see?
You were replacing a show called The Friendly Fireman. And this particular show, and I remember the very first broadcast you did over WRGB for the SS Glendora show, you usually would start with a little cardboard, I assume, cut out, and it was the ocean with a boat. It said SS Glendora, and I believe someone was behind it, moving it back and forth, so it was as if the boat were rocking back and forth, and your theme song was the Sailor's Hornpipe, which would be playing every night. But this first night, the camera trained on you on the deck of your ship, and you had 2 boys and 1 girl with you that night. You had a pair of binoculars, and you said, "The friendly fireman has left in his boat. Can you see him out there on the ocean?" And you handed the binoculars to the first boy, who was smaller, and he looked through them and he said no. And you handed them to the girl and you said, "Can you see him?" And she said no. And you handed them to the third boy and he looked and you said, "Can you see him?" And he said yes.
What a wonderful memory. The very first show you can remember. This is the year 1955, and you were how old?
7.
7.
And I remember you did not break for advertisements. You did all of your commercials live on the show. And of course it was a 15-minute show, so every minute had to really count, and you packed a lot into your 15 minutes. And one ad I specifically remember, you were advertising a brand of sneakers. And you said to one of the boys, "You've spoiled our bunting." And he had all the sneakers tied on the rope hanging down. And that was how you'd go into that commercial, and it was very smooth, and you'd have your commercial, and then you go back to the program. And
The children actually participated in everything.
Yes.
They were part of it.
yes, you used to have quizzes, maybe on safety, for example, and every question that was answered correctly merited a cut-off piece from your necktie. And so-
I had a necktie down to here.
Well, pretty much. And some nights it was getting pretty short. Every night you had to have a new one.
Why did they think that was so funny? That they would go into hilarity just because I took a pair of scissors and cut a piece off of my necktie. They thought that was so funny.
I don't know why they thought it was funny. It just was part of the
But
program.
they just thought it was so funny.
As far as I was concerned, it was just part of the program. And then every night you showed a cartoon. And you used either a Looney Tune or a Merry Melody. And they might be Bugs Bunny or Porky Pig or something of that nature.
Hey, what's up, Doc?
And then you'd tell all of these different stories. You used to, and I always thought these were all real people, but apparently from what you told me, some of them were fictitious. You mentioned one boy, I don't remember his name, but you said, well, he's Irish and he's very fair-skinned and he has to be careful he doesn't become sunburned. And then you used to
Pretty
read,
graphic.
you used to read a letter every so often, and the girl's name was Molly Mo Hudson.
Oh, now I remember. First time in 60 years. Go ahead.
And it was like a running thing. She'd tell what she was doing, and I don't know if she was made up or if she was a real person.
Yes,
that wrote
she was
it.
fictitious.
Okay. And one night you did a shadow puppet show, and she was one of the characters in it, or at least mentioned in the show. You mentioned in that particular puppet show.
What a memory for a 7-year-old.
Remember, I was getting older during the time it ran. Because when you went off, I was either 9 or nearly 9. But I remember during that time, 1956 was when Perry Como came out with his hit record, Glendora. And you were very much aware of this. And for one of your contests one night, the first prize, and this wasn't something that would take place on the show, but they would have to write in on this contest apparently. The first prize was going to be an autograph by Perry Como. The second, third, and fourth prizes were carbon copies of the autograph. I don't know if anybody uses carbon paper very much anymore.
No.
And then you had another contest when the prize,
I want to tell you that one prize was, I took the winner down to Manhattan to the rehearsal of the Perry Como show. That was the prize, that we could go to the rehearsal. And I remember he came out with 2 people. Those people, you know, folks, always traveled in an entourage. You never see Bob Hope alone. There'd be 10 people following him. And I said to Perry Como, I said, "Hi, I'm Glendora. I'm in love with a dolly named Glendora. She works in the window of a big department store. Hair of gold, she never get young, but she'll never be old. Oh, Glendora, I want to see more of you."
and of course, you know what Glendora was in the song.
She was a dummy in a department store window.
Yes.
And I always thought that that song was written by somebody up here in our Albany, Pittsfield area, and who had watched that show and got that name and then had that epiphany about that song. But that's purely on personal speculation.
I've tried to research that, but I couldn't find anything. The composer's name was Ray Stanley,
Ray Stanley,
and I can't find anything on it. I've been looking for the sheet music too, and I haven't been able to find
you
it.
never found it.
No,
What do you suppose happened?
I just haven't been in the right place at the right time.
Oh, you think you will find it?
I'd like to think so.
This is my friend, Wayne Collins, of 62 years, right, Wayne?
Going on 63. But I have many specific memories of that program.
It's wonderful. Are you through your...
No,
Oh,
no.
good.
I remember one night you said, "You people wouldn't do me a favor, would you? Well, would you do me a favor and read the first chapter of your Bible?"
No kidding. Good girl.
And I
Is
think-
that right?
Yes.
And did you do it?
Well, I have done it since.
Oh, yeah. 100 times.
And occasionally you'd make a personal reference. Once in a while you'd mention something about your husband, not very often. You mentioned your brother Ralphie and how your mother would get after him if he didn't wash his elbows.
Yes. It was like the boy who the mother said, piano teacher will be here in 15 minutes. Have you washed your hands? Yep. Have you washed your ears? Well, I washed the one next to her.
When the show was slated to end, of course, I wanted to remember what you looked like because I figured I would never see you again. So I wrote a letter on an old Underwood typewriter and sent it in and asked if I could have a picture. And I have the picture with me today that you sent me back in the fall of 1956.
We're going to get a close-up of this, boys. I'd like to have you get a close-up of this. And Wayne, hold it very steadily and for a long, long time. Yeah. Is that good? Hold it there for a while.
Okay. And on the picture, you did write, "To Wayne, smooth sailing, Glendora." And that's how you always would end your program, by saying smooth sailing.
Smooth sailing. It was cute. Nowadays, those things are all replaced. It's not ships anymore in the sea. Wayne, tell them what's written up there.
Yes,
please.
across the top it says SS Glendora, Monday through Friday, 5:45 until 6 p.m. In fact, a lot into those 15 minutes. And it says WRGB's unique children's show with a nautical theme. Games, tricks, cartoons, and parties are planned each day to delight the young crew.
I tell you folks, you just can't get the feeling of it, how that show was run by the children. Little Jimmy Talbot was 9 years old. He lived in Schenectady. His daddy was a test pilot for General Electric. And little Jimmy Talbot, he sent in 100 postcards to get into the show. How you got onto the show was there was a treasure chest, and you sent your request in to be on the show, and then the children would pull out the names. Tell them about it.
Yes, that was the next thing I had on my list. When the show was going off, you had a big treasure chest that was full of letters. And this was full of letters of boys and girls who had not had a chance to be on the show. So you said, I know it isn't the same as being on television, but I'm going to send you a picture and send you a packet of giveaways. And some of them in my neighborhood got those giveaways. I
No.
didn't, because I
Really?
didn't have a letter in, but they got
Yeah.
another picture, and they got whatever it was you had in the envelope that you sent. It was several things, as I remember. I couldn't tell you specifically what they were.
So Jimmy Talbot sent in 100 postcards to make sure you got on the show. And I always treated the children as adults, always. And I treated Jimmy Talbot as an adult, and I asked him if he wanted to volunteer on the show. And he would come down every afternoon after school, and he would help put on the shoulder pads to show that these mateys were officers, and have their caps on, and have their tie, their black tie, and they were asked to wear a white shirt and either a black skirt or black pants.
Yes, and when the show would start, after the theme song with the little boat going back and forth, then it was trained on the children. As I remember, it wasn't trained on you right away. And they'd say, this is Chief Mate so-and-so reporting from Schenectady, New York, or from Dalton, Massachusetts, or from Glens Falls, New York, or wherever it happened to be. And then after that, you would go into the program, whatever you had planned for that night. And on the very last episode, I remember that one very clearly too. You were playing some character. You weren't playing yourself at this time, but some particular character leading a meeting, and you had a podium and a gavel, and you were reading notes with a lorgnette, and you set it down, and I don't know if this was in the script or not, but you banged the lorgnette, and when you picked it up to read it, it was cracked. So I remember you saying, now...
Oh, Jimmy Talbot, the show came not from that lavish Niskayuna Balltown Road where it is today. It came from an old bowling alley on the Mohawk River, right next to General Electric. As you went over the Scotia Bridge, you'd go from Schenectady over Scotia, over the Hudson River, the Mohawk River, the Schmohawk River. And he went upstairs to the refrigerator. We had any such thing down in the cellar where my show came from. And first of all, he walked right in front of a camera of a live show. And then he dropped a bottle of Coca Marsh on the studio floor. Can you imagine that? What bigger mess could you have than a bottle of Coca Marsh? Chocolate syrup.
I do remember when you were doing Satellite 6, you were advertising popcorn that would pop in the pan, and the foil pan, and
Yeah.
it would have like a
Jiffy
foil
Pop.
dome, and you'd peel it away, and sometimes it would spill onto the floor. Because again, you were doing live commercials.
Television, there was no tape. Oh no, this is 1955. Tape for television did not come in until 1962.
And I remember very clearly the last show, and of course this was a sad time because the show was going off the air, and I can still hear you saying it. You said, we'll be sailing to another port, but there's no port like the first one.
No.
And you'd say smooth sailing. But I figure you must have had well over 1,000 children who appeared with you on that program, not counting those
Do you think so?
Yes. Well, I figured the show ran for about a year and a half, about 75 weeks times 5. And I remember you having at least 3 with you on each program out in front. So it would be well over 1,000.
Very reasonable. You see, General Electric, in their great wisdom, in 1956, listened to a phony survey that people wanted movies. They didn't want live local shows. Can you believe anybody being that obtuse to think that? So they called us all together, Ernie Tatro, Earl Pudney, Earl Jarvis, Kathy the Cook Show,
Jim Fisk.
if you can name any of all the live shows.
Uncle Jim Fisk.
Yeah, Bill Mulvey, Bronco Bill. And of course, not Freddie Fryhofer, that was money. Oh no, we can't do that sponsored. But they called us all together and they canceled all the live shows. Well, in their great wisdom, in 9 months they called and said, will you come back? And that was the Satellite 6.
Yes, that came on in 1958.
You see, General Electric, in order to be a manager for General Electric, all you had to be was an accountant. You had to know how to count beans. anymore.
Well, those are my most vivid memories
Oh,
of the program.
you are a treasure. Oh, you are a treasure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Is there anything else that we could add?
Well, just that it was a much-loved show, and people still remember it to this day.
That's the thing. We carry it in our hearts. People in Walmart, it happens like Clark Nichols today. That happens almost every week, a couple of times in Walmart. And I regret so deeply that I didn't make an audio recording of these encounters. Why, there would be at least 1,000 of them. And I regret that we didn't make an audio tape of the show. You didn't have a videotape, but I could have made. Here you had all the resources of WGY right there. And all you had to do was ask an engineer to make a copy. And we'd at least had a copy of the audio. There was one thing though, Wayne. What do you remember about the 78 RPM I told you about?
About the 78 RPM?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Well, do you remember that WRGB had these news vans, Chevrolet station wagons? You remember that? And they were all beautifully lettered with WRGB Channel 6 News. That was an Ernie Tatro brainstorm. Well, all the staff had access to those vans, and you would just go to, now this is at Balltown Road, and you would just go to the back door and the artist's entrance, and you'd take the key and you'd sign your name and the time, and you'd take a van. And I would go to these schools, to these assembly halls in the schools all over, Canajoharie, Gloversville, Amsterdam, all over, and put on programs in the assembly hall. Well, I'm telling you folks, it was just like Bob Hope going to the troops overseas. They didn't care what you did. Anything you did was right. You came to see them. And so we had this WGY gave me a small audio tape, reel-to-reel audio tape machine. And fortunately, I operated it right, and I got a program, and they put it on a platter for me, on a RPM 78. What year is this? Anywhere between 1958 and 1962. And we have that. And I meant to bring it. It's in the box. If anybody can find the box and bring me that 78 RPM. And then Gregory Washburn, whom you met, I hope, he very cleverly made a video, a DVD of that RPM going around and around and around with the children applauding and screaming and accepting and just having such a grand time in their assembly hall.
I know you came to Pittsfield to the Berkshire Common on one
That's right.
occasion.
We should have Jim Schulman here. Jim Schulman has a picture of that. Who was at the Berkshire Common? And is that
I believe so.
exist today as a Berkshire?
Yes.
It exists today.
Yes.
It was a nice picture. Did you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. It was all in the uniform. I'm sorry, I don't have the uniform.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't have that. Another thing I'd like to tell you is that you know who Jim Fisk? He ended up to be the last one to do Freddie Freihofer. The man before Jim Fisk was in a convertible on Equinox Mountain on Sunday in Manchester, Vermont, and he hit a soft shoulder and was instantly killed.
His name was Bud Mason.
Bud Mason. Do I have my facts right?
Yes.
And the next Monday they had to come up with somebody. I think they came up with Bill Edwardson,
I'm not sure.
and it
about
really wasn't his cup of tea. But first, I wanted to tell you about what its talent Jim Fisk was. He airbrushed that whole set. It really looked like a ship,
that.
didn't
Yes,
it?
it did.
You really thought you were on the ocean on a ship. He airbrushed that whole set, and it was only 3 flats on hinges. Now, we are absorption here, our total engrossment of the brain right now is to recall the flavor of a live television show for children in the 1950s, the latter half of the decade. Have we done that?
I believe we have.
The fan mail was about 40 letters a day. The next segment of this show is going to be the people who came to the homecoming that we had here at the Carousel on July 1st of the year 2017, Anno Domini. And I have the names and numbers of all of those people, and I've called every one of them and asked them if they would jot down their memories of the Glendora to pass on this great thing that was a Camelot. There was once a Camelot. And that will be the next segment. I'm going to interview them over the telephone. And that will be Satellite 6, Glendora Satellite 6. But there you are, great General Electric with all of their wisdom. Get rid of the live shows, and 9 months later, will you please come back? I think the SS Glendora was the only one that did come back.
As I remember, it was. And that Satellite 6 ran for about 4 to 4.5 years, as I remember,
Yes,
from
it did.
1958
Yeah.
to 62.
Yeah. Now let's see if I can think of any funny incidents. I told a lot of them on Pat Gormley. Let's see.
Well, I remember that you were advertising on Satellite 6 the Honer Melodica, and you'd play it every so often.
Okay, go ahead, tell them.
And one night, I don't know if you actually dropped it or hit it on the console, and you said, "You're out of luck, it's not broken."
I told you, didn't I, that I said to the children the SS stood for steamship because it was a... No, that stands for stupid show. When video finally came in, the people really didn't know how to use it. The WRG people just didn't know how to use it. And by the time they finished taping the show, it was only 3 or 4 minutes and I could have gone live. Well, I was walking home in Niskayuna, and there were some kids playing out on the sidewalk, and the mother opened the door, the front door, and said, "Billy, Glendora's on," and he says, "I'm not going to watch that dumb show." And he turned around, and who was walking down the street? Let's see, what else? Oh, a little boy came in to be on Freddie Freihopper. This was after a tape came in. And a little boy ran up to Mae Dunn, the WRGB receptionist, and he said, "Can I see Glendora?" And Mae Dunn, without thinking how it sounded, he said, "Glendora isn't live today." Any other things you have to recall, dear?
Just that it was a very unique show, and that I always enjoyed it, and I was very sorry when the show came to an end.
You said you were awfully sad, little boy.
Yes, that's why I sent for the picture, so I would have something to remember it by.
Oh, yeah. And you did. You put it on your mirror in your bedroom, didn't you?
Yes.
For how many years? 60 years?
Well, not 60, but a few.
Well, now, let me see. Have we covered everything for the SS Glendora? Okay, I'll be back with you all, with the people who came for the reunion at the Carousel last summer. I'll be back with you all that. Let's see if I can tell you a joke. Did you hear about the college president who was relieved of his duties? And in his last speech before the board of directors, board of trustees, he said, "I exit this job the same way I entered it, fired with enthusiasm." Do you know about the church that had a Bible selling contest, and the man who sold the most Bibles started, and he started severely. And the parishioner said, "Well, what did you say to the people to sell the most Bibles?" And he said, I just said, do you want to buy a Bible, or do you want me to read it to you? Grace and peace unto you all. Thank you, my dear Wayne.
Thank you for having me.
See you soon, folks. Smooth sailing.
Cut.
want to get a copy of that picture so I can. Glendora, do you want me to edit these two cameras together and give you
Yeah.
an interview that way?
Can I send it to you on a DVD?
I'd rather have the disc. I can copy the disc.
No. What are you saying? Excuse me.
Is that recording on a disc on that camera?
No, it's on an SD. I'll take it home and put it on a disc.
Yeah, I'd rather have the SD. And then.
You do?
And then I can mail it back to you.
All right. You want it right now?
Yeah, if I could.
I think I could do that. You could take the SD. I could put in another SD for the carousel people.
Well, you'll have it before that.
Oh, you will?
Oh, yeah.
No. I'm going to start interviewing them in a few days.
But I will copy it today and mail it tomorrow.
Certainly.
I just need your address.
Yeah, that would be great.
You wanted to copy this?
Yeah. I take it out of the.
Yes, you can take it out, it just slips out.
So, Gregory, will you be so kind? You got an envelope for the SD, honey?
Yeah, I'll have one. Yeah. Let me see, where do I want to do this? You know what? I'm going to do it right here.
Bob Salazar.
Bob Salazar. It says, he's commented about your 30-second joke that you put up just yesterday at 3:12. I'm not sure if it was boosted or not, but it shows. It just went up yesterday. It says 914 people saw this post. It says.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it says. That's what it's telling me right there.
What was the 1700?
914?
Yeah. Then before we had 1700 people saw it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was another
like
one.
that.
Okay. 1700 and 900. All right.
All right.
Now that's going to stay there forever. All you have to do is mark it as red.
Yeah.
Or you want to go inside of it? Is there more of it inside of it?
There's like.
No, there isn't.
No, he just. What did he comment here? Yeah, if he said something, I don't know. Oh, he just says he. So that's it's like a thumbs up at the bottom of the screen when somebody, if you put a video up and somebody clicks on the thumbs up, that means that they liked your video. That's what that means. So I guess he just gave one of the videos of the joke video from yesterday. He gave it a thumbs up.
Good, thank you, Bob.
And then there's one about Diane Bloomberg, the likes your video. She says here.
Yeah,
I told you about that, and then
yeah, and we sent her an email.
Yeah, we sent her an email. So
Okay, thank you.
let's see. And other people. It says Donna La Barbera likes Glendora. It says.
Oh, that's nice.
Donna La Barbera. So that means that she
likes Glendora.
she clicked off a like or something like that.
So you marked it as red? That's READ, red.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Is that it for today?
Let's see here. Posts. Hide this notification. All right, that takes care of that. All right. Well, there's
5 inches of snow, I think, folks. Is it still coming down? Can you tell, Gregory?
they're still coming. So yeah, they said they're going to like at least like 5. That's what I heard. But let's see here. Charlene Fredericks, Oliver, like your video.
What date?
It's she's here for it says Sunday at 10 p.m.
Okay, then now we're up to date, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Now, can you find any of those people who you might like to know? Can you eliminate those?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I can try to get into that. Yeah. And there's some bunch of stuff on here. All right, that's the notifications. Let's see here. Okay. People you might like to know about.
Are you removing?
Yeah, I'm just looking. I'm looking through. Trying to scroll through and look at this. Check this out here.
Remove them all, please.
Yeah, I want to remove them. If I want to comment and then post share. And where's the comment? It says it doesn't even go to it. Comment. I don't see any comments on it. Yeah, somebody shared, like you posted a video, and then somebody shared it, and that's what happened there. Okay. People are starting to respond. Video ad is approved. I think that's about it. There's nothing. There's no messages on here from people at all. So.
Okie doke.
But I don't see clear all. We'll go to this. Okay, I should go to. Oh, it says. Well, it says Nassau, New York. It says wind something or other. Wind chill warning from Friday 1 a.m. until Sunday at 7 a.m. Winter weather advisory until Friday at 7 a.m. So after tomorrow morning, hopefully it should be pretty good. I hope so. And or yeah, 20 degrees, and it says snow shower. And oh, you can look at the little map here, the radar. Yeah, it says accumulation 1 to 3 inches, and yeah, that's what that says right there. There's a bunch of other stuff on here, and
What's the temperature?
oh well, it says in this one, it says let's see here, hourly. It says 20. It says 20. It's telling me 20 here. Oh, it says 20, but it says it feels like 4 degrees, but it's like 20 right now. So yeah, 20 degrees, and I think the low tonight is like 4. I think that's what the low is.
Above?
Yeah, 4 above. Yes, yeah. All right, so I think we're pretty good. So I don't know what that is. All right. Yeah, that's about it there. That's about it. Let's see. Call it Grayson. Grayson the storm. Yeah, Thursday today it says low of 4 degrees, and then tomorrow Friday it says Friday it says I think a high of. It says windy, and it says a high of 8 degrees and a low of -4, and it says a 10% chance of precipitation, and that's about it. So now next week on Monday or Tuesday it says It's going to go up to like 31 or 34, like Monday and Tuesday. That's what it's telling me. So, but yeah, 20 degrees. Then 20 degrees to 8. Then at 9 o'clock it goes down to 19, and that's about it. That's all I can see right now. So, let's see here. Let's keep going to the forecast.
Thanks. Would you go to Messenger and see if there's any messengers?
Yeah, Messenger. That's a good idea. All right. Let's see here. All right, Messenger is. Oh, that's not it right there. Messenger. Oh, Messenger's the squiggly blue line there. All right, yeah, I'm on Messenger now, and no, it's got the new one here. It says Sherry Johnson. It says, yeah, I've never seen this before. It says Sherry Johnston. It says Sunday at 10:04 p.m. It says you are now connected on Messenger. It says say hello with a wave. It says, and yeah, I've never seen that. It says she's a registered nurse at the Department of Veterans Affairs and lives in Melbourne, Florida. Friends on Facebook. Okay, you got that. Devlin Adams. It says, let's see if can keep on moving to friends and family. It says, I don't understand that, but yeah, I don't understand that too much. Christmas hug. That's something, but all right, Devlin Adams. Don Yol Folsom sent a photo. Don Yals. Happy New Year. Don Yol Folsom works at Draca Elevator Products. Lives in Walnut, Mississippi. That's not. Oh, this is Brenda Roy. It says happy birthday, Glendora. It says this is December 27th, and this is May 1st, 17. Well, this must be old. This is really old. So. Well, you Messenger. I guess you weren't on Messenger. Then somehow on Sunday you're into Messenger now. I think maybe Austin got it going. I think.
Maybe.
Maybe it did. So, yeah, sent the photo. Happy birthday. Yeah, then there's like a couple on here. They just go back, but they're all older messages. There's nothing really current that I can see. But you're connected on Messenger, and that's about it. I don't see a lot else on here. Yeah, there's not that much on that Messenger that I could see. There's nothing else on here, so. Okay, I'm gonna get out of that and go on to. Wait, Austin really changed your phone a lot. It really moved a lot of stuff around here, so. And the clean master we got. The clean master. Okay, let's see here. Gmail. We went over Gmail. We went over Facebook. Didn't we go over the Facebook mail? I don't see much else on here. Notifications. Don't see anything else on it. Right. Pretty good. Ready for winter. Oh yeah. Posted.
Welcome to winter in the Northeast. Boots are on.
gotta go. I'll check on. Yeah, as far as I know, the jokes got posted.
Oh, thank you.
But what I'll go on my phone and look them up and then just check it.
Oh, thank you.
And I think other than that, it's pretty good. I think we're in pretty good shape. That's your two phones right there. Okay, I'll run out and go take care of it.
Did you roll up your pants, honey? I think you should roll up your pant legs.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because they'll get full of snow.
Yeah, that's good.
And then they'll get wet, and then you'll have to take them off and dry them.
I know, but yeah, that's nice.
Welcome to Northeast Winter, January 4. Snowstorm number 9, and already I think it's 6 inches, don't you?
Oh, it's going up to 5 at least. I know that, so at least that much. But well, that's good. But I'll be good to go. Yeah, that's good. That's not.
Good afternoon. This is Jason from Cablevision. Hope all is well. Happy New Year. I want you to know I had to actually purchase a few extra stamps to mail off your media, your DVDs. So I did that yesterday. So it should be in the mail. Hopefully it doesn't come back to me. But it's in the mail. I had to buy maybe like 3 extra stamps. But it's okay. You don't have to reimburse it. So I just, I charge it to the company. And the other thing is your DVD for Newark. We noticed that you've been putting like the contest information. Please take that off for future shows. We can't advertise any contests. We can't advertise any website to go on. You still can leave. You can still leave your telephone number and your contact information in the credits. But just don't run any ads or website addresses during the show. Okay, so everything else is okay. You can always give me a call back up here today till 5. Other than that, I'll be here on Monday at 9 a.m. If you want to call and leave me a message, you definitely can. It's good to hear your voice and a good joke. And, okay, I mean, that's pretty much it, Glendora. So I'll talk to you soon. If you need us, it's 973-297-5926. Bye-bye.
Hi there, everybody, friends all over. Have you heard what the football cheer is by the medical college? At the football game, they said, hypodermic, hypodermic. Hypodermic, what does that mean? Stick it to them.
Waiting for the heat wave. Good care, and everything is okay.
Breathing, press 2. To change your recorded name, press 3. To exit, press star. Press pound.
Everybody, it's Glendora. The doctor said to the young lady, you have acute appendicitis. And she said, now listen, doc, I came here for my health, not to be flattered.
Bay Area Video Coalition names new executive director.
Oh, no.
The Board of Directors of Bay Area Village Coalition is pleased to announce the appointment of Alec Raffin as the organizer's new executive director.
Would you spell his name for me?
Alec is A-L-E-C, Raffin, R-A-F-F-I-N.
He's the new executive director?
Mm-hmm.
Would you archive that? The archive is to the left of the garbage pail.
The little...
Okay.
Okay. Adorama, new...
delete,
new
please.
January rebates, okay. Facebook, Twitter, 7 new.
Delete, please.
I guess you delete each one of them individually?
Yeah.
Okay.
You go to it and then delete it.
No.
Anybody else?
Oh, these are January. Let's see. Glendora got more new likes this week. Keep up the good work.
Who said that?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay, that's nice.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Glendora, books and music review to Glendora?
Yeah, what about it?
Okay, great. I will look that up on my GPS.
Okay, that's all right. And then you press this one right here.
Oh, wait a minute. I just went.
And that'll mark it white. It goes from blue to white.
Well, I touched on it. Oh, okay.
You touch on it and it does that? Okay.
Okay, so I will look up on my GPS. How's it going out there in the snow? Are you snowed in or not? We had lots of snow here. Most of the main roads have been cleared. I will probably be at Staples sometime as the weather gets a little warmer. Okay. Now where do I go?
The next one.
I think I have to go back or something.
I wouldn't go back. We read them on Friday.
I just don't know where to go here.
Up, down, up and down.
It doesn't go far. Music and books and music review.
Yeah, and then aren't we? Are there any ones marked January 6th? Are there any ones marked January 6th?
I'm trying to close this. Okay. No.
That's all. Let's look at the weather. Press this bottom right, and then press clear. And can you see weather there? All right.
I'm looking.
Slide the screen. There's weather.
Weather. It's 26 degrees.
Oh, that's nice. Any storm predicted?
Moderate rain Friday. Monday. Tuesday. No, I think it's going to be
Well, you did it for me.
sunny on Wednesday.
What's it say about Wednesday?
Sunny on Wednesday.
Sunny?
Yeah.
Well, we had 3 beautiful days of sunshine.
Well, even when it's been so cold, the sun has been beautiful.
Yes, it has.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know where it is.
And are nourished. We pray these things in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank
I
you.
don't know how you do it.
So we have to have this done in an orderly fashion, I'm told. And I'm the responsible party to make sure that happens. So last time we started over here, so this time we're not. We're going to start right back here. And if you guys can come around this way into the line, and then we'll start with the next table down the road. Sorry, Walt. I wasn't going to follow your status quo thing. Don't worry.
Glendora, how's...
Me too. You got napkins?
Oh, that's good, huh? Oh, that's very good.
Yeah, he was advertising. Yeah, that's good.
We worked.
Hard one. What's not?
Something not interested in doing it. You would rather have it in a church.
Yeah.
So interested, someone interested, not interested.
What's this one here?
Roger Aarons
What's this one?
and Kirk Dixon.
So it gets You would love to do that. You would love to do this. You would hate to do this. So everything else in between.
Oh,
So
Hello, my sweet Glendora. This is Lori. I hope everything is well with you. I want to wish you a belated Happy New Year and a belated Happy Anniversary to you and Frankie on Christmas. I thought about it and I got so busy with running around, no excuse, but I didn't forget you, sweetheart. I love you. I hope all is well. I hope you're well. And I'll talk to you soon. I love you, sweetheart. Bye-bye.
Who was that?
End of message. To erase this message,
Her name
press
is
7.
Lori?
To send a reply message, press 8.
Oh, okay. Lori Galgano in Long Island. Thank you, Lori. Erase, please.
Recent? Alright, so.
Message erased.
Okay, alright.
End of new messages. To listen to your messages, press 1. To send a message, press 2. To change your personal options, press 4. To disconnect,
You're looking
press
at
5.
Turner Turnip.
So yeah, that's about it that I can see, so.
Well,
To
press
listen to your
2.
messages, press 1. To send a message, press 2.
All right, press
To
1.
change
There's
your
2 more
personal
messages on there.
To listen to your voice messages, press 2. To listen to
Press
the message
2.
you delete. First saved voice message.
Hi, Glendora. It's Maxine. It's 4:30 on Sunday afternoon. I hope you're doing well. I just called to say hello and see how you are doing. It's still really cold, but I'm waiting for the heat wave this week.
Baby,
I
it's
can't-
cold
I can't wait.
outside.
Anyway, take good care, and everything is okay here.
Minus
Okay,
11.
bye-bye.
Delete.
End of message.
Alright,
To erase this message, press 7. To send message erased.
okay.
Next message.
Hi, Glendora. It's Pat calling on Monday morning. We ran into car trouble yesterday when we were driving to Troy. So I had to take my car in this morning. Richard had to go to Albany on his way with his car. So I will be without transportation today. I can reschedule coming over to see you tomorrow if you like, tomorrow morning. So let me know what you think. I'll have my phone with me and I look forward to talking to you later. Bye-bye.
And she did, and she accomplished so much. Hi there, everybody. The doctor said to the patient, "There's nothing I can do for your disease. It's hereditary." And the patient says, "Okay, doc, would you please send the bill to my dad?"
Yeah,
Yes, would you check it that we want to keep the drop box? And if it costs money, we'll send it to him.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but let's see. Let's see now. Okay, let's see the Dropbox. So, I'm not sure if you just get into it or read the business.
We just renewed Dropbox, whatever that is. So archive it.
All right, so are you Gmail here? Okay, archive. All right, I did that. Okay, and now it just says here. Now, since you gave it some activity, and it just sent a notice out, and I think that's what that beep was over on the phone.
Oh.
So it says we noticed a new sign into your Dropbox. Hi Glendora, new web browser just signed into your Dropbox account. To help keep your account secure, let us know if this is you. And it was, because we just did it. So, and I'm gonna hit yes, and
Yes.
and that's about it, I guess here. And so we're pretty good. So okay, I guess we're good on that.
And you archived it.
Yes. Yeah.
Thanks. This is a pretty flower.
Archive.
And you're a pretty flower, Turnip. And you're a pretty flower, Pink Flower.
So,
And I gave Sue my amaryllis lily that Janie Ray gave me.
oh, did you? Oh, you gave it to her? Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
and Sue
That
was
nice.
very happy with
Oh,
it.
yeah. The
I had amaryllis lilies, folks, that went way back to my grandmother. My mother gave them to me.
Oh yeah.
Who's next?
So now I'm on the Facebook. Facebook. I think it's either primary or social. I'm not sure which one it is, but I'm in the Facebook. There's a. It says, "Please enjoy your day." That's what it
Thank you, Facebook.
So
Primary and social.
Yeah, that's all I can see there.
Now would you go to notifications?
Okay, all right. Join Instagram.
Delete, please.
But yeah, you don't need that. So Instagram is something else. That would be something. Let's see here. Okay, let's get down to notifications. What are those? New friend requests.
Thank you, Sue and Pete St. Pierre, for letting us come to your house and use your internet to upload 5 shows to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Thank you, Gregory, for doing it. It was Herculean. One show was 2 hour, another show was 2 hour, one show was an hour, another one was an hour, and the last one was 20 minutes or half an hour.
Delete.
Gregory's going to remove quite a few people you may know.
So, all right. So it's going. So I'm not sure how far it goes on. People you may know.
It takes a long time, folks.
Yeah, a little
I'm
bit.
really not so sure about this gift from Facebook.
Okay, there's
I think he's removed 20 so far.
yeah, a bunch of them, but okay.
Want to look at the turnip while he's doing that?
So no, it looks pretty. It looks like it's doing pretty good. So let's see.
Isn't he amazing? He was slashed and cut and chiseled and put in hot wax. He wanted to live. We brought him home. In 2 or 3 days we saw 2 sprouts, and look what has happened. As of when? As of Thanksgiving.
Okay, that's enough of that. I can't do this forever.
Gregory is still doing the removals.
Yeah, it just comes up with these things here. That's a lot. Yeah, I took care of them all, so they're
Oh,
going.
thanks.
They're going now. So
Would you please go to the weather?
the weather. Okay. All right. All right. Okay, it's coming up. Let's see here. So it says Nassau today. It says 20. What is it saying here now? Wednesday it says 21 and sunny, but then it says it might get up to like 36 today.
Thank you.
That's what I see on here.
And no
right
precip?
now. No, not right now.
And
no.
how about the wind?
It says I don't see it says southeast at 2 miles per hour.
Not bad.
Messenger. 1, 2. Oh, here's Messenger right up there. Okay. 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 So I guess you're on Messenger now. I guess it seems like it's a working thing.
Are there any messages?
The what I see is there's one here from connecting a messenger. It says wave. Somebody on Messenger, I guess, it says somebody waved you here, like Sherry Johnson Folsom that works down in Florida. It says here, she says say hello with a wave. It says, and they do. That's what they do, I guess.
Okay, would you erase it? Rub your finger over it.
All right. So okay. Let's see here. All right. Let's see.
Now, would you go to sweep? Sweep it clean. See the little broom?
Let's see. Send your photo. Well, somebody. Yeah, you want to go to the sweeper? Okay. All right. Yeah, there's some older stuff on here. Sure. Just sweep it. Want me to sweep it?
Can you show it to the camera? It's awfully nice, folks. As cute as can be.
Yeah, it says
Okay,
clean.
would you sweep him, honey?
Oh, clean master.
Yeah,
so
clean
hit
master.
that and right there, and then it's gonna start sweeping. All right, it goes and it just does its stuff. So
Thank you, sweep
I
clean.
think that was about it. I guess the
Austin says that makes a big difference in storage.
oh yeah, junk files. Okay.
Now, Gregory,
All right. I think
we
that's it, so.
we did 2 jokes on Facebook, one for Sunday, one for Monday, and then we did 2 more, one for Tuesday and one for Wednesday. And Gregory uploaded them to YouTube. He posted them to Facebook, and he tweeted them to Twitter. And how long did that process take you? A half an hour?
Yeah, about a half hour at least.
And see, my question, folks, to you is it used to be instant. Why isn't it instant today? So I think today, Gregory, when he gets his pay today, he will have earned $10,000 from a chat with Glendora. And believe me, he earned it. The work is arduous. And I think we will celebrate that $10,000 by buying a $300 telephone and see if we can't get instant upload, tweet, and post. Hey folks, please go with me to Yonkers, New York, and we'll talk with Robert Jackson. Call Jackson. Oh, voice dial. I can't be without it because I can't see anything anymore. Thank you.
Oh, you have to.
Hey, Robert Jackson, it's Glendora.
Hi, Glendora.
Hi, Robert. Oh, excellent. And of course you always are.
Oh, I tried.
Yes, you do. And you're going to read to me from the bulletin of the Church of St. John the Baptist.
That is correct, yes.
And Monsignor Christopher Maloney is the pastor.
That is correct. He's the pastor of St. John the Baptist Roman Catholic Church in Yonkers, New York. And this is the summary of last Sunday's Mass of January 7th, 2018.
Oh, thank you.
And that was the Feast of the Epiphany.
Yes, that's right. January 6th,
Right. And of course, the church celebrates it on the nearest Sunday, which this year was January 7th.
Yes.
And
And Epiphany.
Pardon?
Go right ahead, excuse me. Epiphany means great revelation by God, a divine revelation, a divine imparting of knowledge is what epiphany means.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, I've been recording for a long time.
Okay. Oh, I know. Okay, so this is the outline of last Sunday's Mass, the Feast of the Epiphany. Epiphany comes from a Greek word which means a manifestation or appearance. Christians celebrate the incarnation in stages, remembering Jesus' birth in Judea on December 25th, his manifestation to the nations on the Feast of the Epiphany, and his baptism celebrated this year on Monday, January the 8th. Symbols abound in today's reading: light, rich gifts, invited visitors, a guiding star. Today's first reading, Isaiah 61-6, captures the wonder and joy of the Israelites who, upon their return from exile in Babylonia, are making a pilgrimage to Jerusalem. The words of Isaiah fairly trip over each other in his outburst of enthusiasm and encouragement to his people who suffered so much. Isaiah's description of gifts of gold and frankincense are echoed in the symbolic token of the wise men in Matthew's Gospel, Matthew 2:1-12. Tellingly, Matthew adds myrrh, so that the mystery of Jesus' divinity, humanity, and passion are foreshadowed. Gold for royalty, frankincense for divinity. Myrrh for serpent servant. Matthew's wise men are non-Jews, themselves symbols of the universality of Jesus' mission. Paul reminds the Ephesians of this in today's second reading, Ephesians 3:2-6, when he observes that the Gentiles are co-heirs, members of the same body, and co-partners in the promise. And again, that was a synopsis of last Sunday's Roman Catholic Mass of January 7th, 2018, the Feast of the Epiphany. And the synopsis comes from the bulletin from the Church of St. John the Baptist in Yonkers, New York, written by Pastor Monsignor Christopher J. Maloney.
Oh, thank you. Sometimes I think it would have been better if the wise men had brought diapers and baby powder and
Well, maybe in today's world.
Robert, thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
You're so loyal to do that to us. Now, did you hear from Mr. Down in BronxNet, Bernardo, Mr. Bernardo down in BronxNet?
Yes, he sent me the, which I haven't filled out yet. What I had to do was register as a producer with him.
Oh, good.
And then that opens the door for me to send the, along the way, send the new edition tape.
Oh, good, good.
Or the edition program on file transfer.
Oh, isn't that lovely? And how long, well, is that a big job to register as a producer?
No, not really. It's a form you have to fill out.
And so, okay.
So I'll most likely take care of that this morning.
Oh, really? Isn't that wonderful?
And then I would think maybe tomorrow or the day after I can send the
Yes.
file.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, I'll get on the road again, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that'll be good if we can get him to move sometime this decade. That would be lovely. Okay. All right. We'll talk again soon, or was there anything further you wanted to say?
No, I guess that was time.
All right. Well, you've been a grand...
I can give you a call in a few days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I always look forward to calling you every 2-3 days. The boy emailed his dad from college, and he said that he joined the drama club and he'd already got a part in a play. He was playing the part of a man who had been married 35 years. And his dad emailed him back and says, "Great, son, I hope in your next play you'll get a speaking part."
That's good.
Thank you, dear friend, since 2000, year 2000.
Yes, that's right. Oh, gosh. So many years now.
Yeah, 17.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, bye-bye, Robert Jackson.
Okay, Glendora, take care.
You too, dear.
All right, have a good day.
Grace and peace. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Folks, this video that's playing over my shoulder here, That's the video of our program in Pittsfield on January 5th. And we're going to play the whole thing for you. So it's a little preview. Thank you. Grace and peace to you. Hi there, my dear friends. One of my dearest friends is with me today, Gregory Charles Washburn, and you don't know how much help he is to me. He can do 40 things that I can't do any longer. Hi, Greg.
Hi, hello. Yeah, good morning, Glendora.
Greg is going to read to you a page from the magazine that appeared in the alumni publication of American International College. It's about the TV ups and downs of one named Glendora over many years.
All right, read that right now. To supplement his meager wages, Glendora's father worked several jobs. One of them selling blankets door to door on an installment plan of $1 a week.
Excuse me, Greg. Didn't we read that yesterday? Isn't there a date on that?
Yeah, it's dated up at the top, and I think.
No, the next page, huh?
Did it leave off there?
Yeah, we read that yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay.
All right. Glendora found her way back to Hollywood thanks to a vaudevillian turned Broadway star, Bobby Clark, and his wife, whom she had met during her stint as a relish girl at the Equinox House. The Clarks had taken a liking to me and their friend Elsie Paris, who operated the Hollywood Bridge Club, was driving back to L.A. with a friend of hers, and they offered me a ride. Glendora lived near UCLA and quickly found work on the LA Stock Exchange. I couldn't stand that, but one day during my long commute on the Hollywood freeway, I did see a Nat King Cole in a rage at the driver in front of him. When Glendora spotted an ad for a course in television writing through the UCLA extension, she wasted no time signing up for it. The class is being given in the NBC studios right there at the corner of Sunset and Vine, and across from their lecture room was the personnel office. Glendora landed a job as a script girl at NBC, running the mimeograph machine in the basement. This was television in its infancy. The money, the creativity, the excitement. People ate TV dinners in front of it. You would hear people discussing what they saw on television the night before. I knew I had chosen the right field, and this was my door in. Glendora made the most of her foot in the door moment, running last-minute script changes upstairs to the cast of Dragnet, meeting Groucho Marx, who was filming You Bet Your Life, running into Robert Young of Father Knows Best fame, kicking the canteen machine. But the most exhilarating connection was with Bob Hope, her hero of humor. I had collected 4 scrapbooks of him, and when I showed him one, he said to his agent, "She has more pictures of me than you do." He was on the radio then at NBC, and after he finished audio taping his show, if he felt like it, he would stay and tell a few jokes for the studio audience. He let me try out my monologue in the after show, and I came floating in on the wings of Bob Hope. His favorite engineer, Johnny Pollock, would boost the audio for me so the laughter sounded twice as loud.
Yeah.
And he recorded it for me on a platter. Glendora also got to know Jack Douglas, an aspiring comedian and writer for Hope. When she took a hiatus during the summer to go back east, Douglas asked if she'd do him a favor and drive the car he'd left at his summer home in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, back to Hollywood. Glendora agreed, and she and her mother, who came along for the ride, drove Douglas's 1950 black Buick convertible across the country like the intrepid heroines of a madcap Hollywood movie. Glendora continued at NBC while the Colgate Comedy Hour was going strong with the likes of Eddie Cantor, Martin and Lewis, and Abbott and Costello. She had her comedy platter, a presentation card that the people from Dragnet had printed up for her, and professional photographs, but she knew if she was going to make it, she needed experience. I decided to go back to Springfield, find a small television station, and get myself in front of the camera. Her career as a children's show host began in 1953 with Glendora and Her Pitcher Party, which aired on Channel 19 in Pittsfield, Massachusetts for 15 minutes a week. And an artist from the Springfield Public Library would illustrate an incident from the life of a famous historical figure, and youngsters would come on the show and tell this story as they saw it, in their own words. I just wrote the show up, put it under my arm, and took it up to the Berkshires. And one of the first lessons I learned is to get a sponsor. Glendora soon moved to WMUR in Manchester, New Hampshire, where she launched a much more ambitious endeavor, the SS Glendora, in which she played the ship's captain and local children would play her sailors. The general manager loved the program, and he ran the show for 45 minutes, 5 days a week. It was charming live television, creative and educational. I always talked to the kids as though they were peers, and it had a great effect. In the midst of all this career building, on Christmas Day in 1954, Glendora married Franklin Buell, a reporter for the Springfield Union, and former boyfriend of the young woman she had first traveled to California with. Buell would eventually become a star at the Buffalo Evening News, writing stories about little people doing great things, a theme that runs through both of their work. Franklin passed away in 2003, and today Glendora maintains an archive museum that includes every article her husband wrote in his 37-year career as a journalist. After leaving WMUR, Glendora landed at WBZ-TV, the Westinghouse station in Boston, the largest in New England. After searching all over Massachusetts and even up to Buffalo for sponsors, I finally went to a little one-man advertising agency in Hartford, Connecticut, and asked if he had any sponsors for the SS Glendora. It turns out he had one client, Milton Bradley, which also just happened to be owned by James Shea, a trustee of American International College. The SS Glendora now attracted the attention of some of the top newspapers in the country, including the Boston Globe, the Boston Post, and the Christian Science Monitor. I had so many ideas, and I was working so hard. My parents helped with the costumes, and I wrote the show in a room on the second floor of 19 Colonial Avenue, just west of AIC. Though it seemed like a match made in sponsor heaven, the connection with Milton Bradley was short-lived. Dismayed but not discouraged, Glendora shopped the show around with the SS Glendora. And the SS Glendora sailed on to General Electric's WRGB in Schenectady, New York, where it ran 5 days a week before eventually morphing into Satellite 6, with Glendora the captain of a 1950s-style sci-fi spaceship and running cartoons such as Felix the Cat and Bugs Bunny.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it
The
sure
ups
is.
and downs. Would you log that as January 10th?
All right.
Thank you so much for doing that.
Okay, sure.
I just think that's so interesting. And you young people, see how it is? See how it is, you young people? Don't be discouraged. Persevere. It's awfully hard to get started. But make sure you're doing something you love. Make sure you're doing something that you can do better than anybody else.
And it's,
The universe is grand. The way the universe plans everything.
that's
Thanks, dear Greg.
There, yeah. And it's about
Okay.
that. Is that
Let's stop this now,
this?
and we'll go
Okay.
on to read
All right.
the Jolly Joy Journal of 2018. What happened on, 2017. What happened on January 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
All right, I need this key. Okay. Let's get some different
This is January 10th, Wednesday. It's about 4:30 p.m. There's the Valatia Kill down there that goes to our house. And there's a museum. And it looks like an Arctic tundra, doesn't it? And I told Gregory not to go down if he had any reservation at all. But he's going. The mission is to bring up 3 more winter blazers and take 3 in.